Hello everyone, how y'all doing today? This is King Man, and this is my Diecast and Miniatures channel, and today I am bringing you the first ever Gaslands battle report that I have ever done. I really do hope you enjoy this. This was highly experimental, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and it's certainly different. It's using a lot of software I have never really used in a while. I used Windows Movie Maker back in the day to make AMVs in college, but I haven't touched video since. And of course, my regular videos, but I do hope you enjoy. This is a labor of love and a labor of experimentation, and there's probably going to be mistakes. I caught one post-production, and I've already mentioned it in the video, but yeah, I really hope you enjoy. And really and truly, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Okay, first out of the gate, leading us off, is Team Miyazaki's Lucky 38s. They're headed by the Kopesh, a monster truck with handguns, ram, glue dropper, and it has the perks Moment of Glory, Slippery, and Expertise. This is a big, bad, beautiful baby, and she's ready to rock and roll. And on her wing is the Cazador, a motorcycle with a handgun, rear-mounted mine droppers, Expertise, and Slippery. Now we see what Andre Mishkin has cooked up for us. We have the Ursa Major, a truck with handgun, arc lightning projector, and an experimental nuclear engine and tank tracks, which means this big bad purple bear could go up like a tinderbox if the right circumstances hit, but it can also hit, well, like a thunderbolt. So I don't think I want to be anywhere near this bear's claws. It also has the perk of mobile mechanic and gyroscope, which we've discovered has conferred it the ability of Slippery. So that makes that interesting. On its wing is the buggy Photon, equipped with handguns, a front-mounted death ray, of all things, and a rear-mounted caltrop, just in case somebody gets too close to this high-tech team. It's also equipped with satellite navigation to help it and Ursa Major navigate the track without too many troubles, and headshot to maximize the potential lethality of that death ray. Of course, what's a good death race without a slime team? This time, we're introduced to Team Hard Candy with two identical buggies, which is odd for slime to have that kind of coordination, but we have the Blue Gear, which is the obvious blue buggy, with a machine gun, and pretty much that's it. As well as the Fender Kiss perk. That's quite interesting. And Grinder, the red buggy, is equipped exactly the same way. You ever wonder what they're feeding those kids? They look almost identical from here. But leading them is Jawbreaker, a car with handguns, a front ram, side rams, and a rear-mounted napalm dropper, just to make sure you stay off of it for tailgating. It also has armor plating and the perk Berserker, because this is one slime team you do not want to ram into. Actually, I can't think of any that I would want to ram into, but that's what they say for me to say. And last but not least, Warden Cadelia has informed me that this Florida-based team is the Gods of Daytona, headed up by the performance car known as Awesome Bill. The white and red number 9 is equipped with a handgun, side-mounted napalm droppers, grenades. It is a prison vehicle with the driver welded inside, a roll cage, and the perk powder keg, which means this car is rigged to blow one way or another. And its teammate is the Havoc Rooster, equipped almost identically with mine droppers and grenades. Well, mine droppers actually different than napalm, but you get the point. And it's also got a roll cage and prison vehicle, and it's equipped with powder keg as well. So, I would not want to be around either one of these cars when that go up. And playing the role of enforcer for this Warden team is Jocko 91, a car with handgun, a front-mounted heavy machine gun, rear-mounted mine dropper, grenades. It's also a prison vehicle, but this one does not have a roll cage. Considering that age of that car, I don't think they had invented them at the time. It is also equipped with powder keg. Well, good luck to them, I say. With pole position, Jawbreaker is the first one to put the hammer down and launch out of the starting gate. And it's not exactly what Team Slime was hoping for, as even after a push attempt, they end up sliding across the track, right in front of everyone else. And now here we have Awesome Bill showing Jawbreaker exactly how to launch out of a starting gate. With a slight spin, they're already lining up for the first gate. That's the way you do it, Awesome Bill. And here we have Kopesh hammering down, showing that Miyazaki is not always about feathering little drift cars and sliding around and deftly dodging bullets. This is as straight attack as possible as Kopesh hits the accelerator and goes right over top of Grinder and Jocko 91. And to make insults even worse, they spin and slide and get a showing off token. How about that? And they're lined up and pointed right at the side of Jawbreaker. Ugh, I would not want to be that car. And here we see 3 damage has been done to Jocko, and a whopping 4 damage from 2 criticals has been done to Grinder. If Grinder hadn't had Fender Kiss, oof, that could have been really bad right out of the gate. Next out of the gate is Ursa Major, unleashing the full power of that experimental nuclear engine. Though I think it got a little out of hand as it started to spin there. Considering the danger that engine poses to both their crew and everyone in attendance, I really hope they can get this thing back under control. And now it's Grinder's turn, and he seems pretty keen not to run into the back end of that monster truck that just ran flat over top of him. Of course, it could be a testament to how good that roll cage is, considering he's still alive after being rolled over by that giant monster truck. Unfortunately, he's also got his sights set on Miyazaki's little teammate, Cazador. Unfortunately, though, leaves Cazador with nowhere to go but into the side of Grinder, who, feeling generous, has decided to evade. And Cazador is evading as well. Someone who is not evading, however, is Jocko 91, who is just plowing into them and creating a pile-up already at the start gate. And Jocko 91 tears 2 big chunks of hull out of that small bike. Yeah, it's not looking good for Cazador. But if you've ever been into the Mojave, you know how dangerous and annoying those things are to kill. And now it's Photon's turn to show everybody how to actually get off the starting gate without plowing into something. And it's such a good roll that they're able to bank a little bit with their satellite navigation. but the rest of the field really doesn't want to follow Photon's, how would we say, example, as Blue Gear and Havoc Rooster bump in to each other and kind of creates a bit of a mess. And here we see Awesome Bill trying to avoid plowing directly into the side of a nuclear powered truck, as well as trying to stay out of the line of fire from the monster truck, and almost goes spinning out and has to push it to try and save it. And the roll is not that much better. I wonder if they remember to take the racing slicks off and put on the dirt tires. But they didn't get far enough away, as Kopesh lines up and runs flat over top of Jawbreaker, who just tanks it like a champ. Well, who doesn't tank it very well is our poor little flags. They get smashed down pretty bad, as does the whole rear end of Awesome Bill. All that carnage, though, does take a toll on the monster truck, as it nearly wipes out and has to resort to its moment of glory. The Berserker perk softened the blow from the monster truck, but it still seems like that Slime Driver is a bit ticked off. Caught under the front tires and ram, as well as a katana-wielding crew member, the Awesome Bill takes quite a beating of damage. 8 hull points in one shot, and ironically is the wrecked and is sent flying across gate 1, and ooh boy, that's a big explosion. Well, the Warden fans are happy, I'm sure. Not wanting to be the next person underneath the monster truck's wheels, Ursa Major hits it full throttle and nearly makes it to the first gate. And our back markers are still having trouble getting off of the starting gate, as Jocko 91 is sent flipping and spinning around before the race even gets fully started. As Jawbreaker gets squared up, Photon is also keen to try and get out of the scrum as quick as possible, with a fairly decent roll. And here, Blue Gear gives us a great demonstration of the slime ability called Pinball, as they go out of control, bounce off of Jocko 91, bounce off of the Havoc Rooster that also wiped out and spun around, and then ended up backwards, back into the side of the Kopesh, and yet still came out relatively unscathed. And now free of the pack, Ursa Major crosses the first gate, goes weapons hot, but with nothing in front of it to shoot. I think they're keen now just to get away from everything. And what a roll to do it with. Miyazaki's Kopesh, though, is right on their tail, and as soon as they go weapons hot, drop a big pile of glue all over the track, and take a pot shot that misses completely on Ursa Major. But at least it's reminding Ursa Major that the monster truck is still there. As the rest of the field untangles itself, it now has to deal with the hazard of the glue, as well as not smacking into the back end of the monster truck, which Photon fails at and slides right into the back tire and is just damaged and ground under it. Ouch. As we can pull back, we can see that the two major contenders for this race have apparently Ursa Major and Miyazaki's Kopesh, with Miyazaki's Kopesh right on the heels of that powerful nuclear engine truck. And wanting more space, the monster truck watches as Ursa Major floors it, and then slides and spins almost out of control, and then pushed it and got an even scarier roll. Well, with 4 hazards, they're at least pointed in the right direction, but ooh, that could have been bad. And here we have more teams doing everything they can to avoid getting stuck in glue, including Blue Gear putting on a driving clinic. Who knew these slime drivers were so acrobatic? With Awesome Bill down for the count, it becomes the sole goal of the Havoc Rooster to salvage this day for Warden, and they do it in style, reversing and spinning around and getting the car facing the right direction. And after getting tangled up with just about everybody at the starting gate, Grinder is finally heading in the right direction as well. And while that is going on, Jawbreaker crosses the first gate, goes weapons hot, and makes weapons hot quite literal by dropping napalm right in front of Cazador, who decides that, well, why not? And goes full throttle across and immediately loses control, slides, spins, and is on fire. But they've accumulated so many hazards, they wipe out, which leaves them facing the wrong way, but at least they're not on fire. Because if they had been still on fire, they would probably not be here with us, for now at least. And now it is Photon's turn. He lines up the monster truck with that death ray, they pull the trigger, and well, at least they vaporized some aggressive patch of dirt. That really wasn't what they were intending to do, though, I think. And now Jawbreaker's still upset at Kopesh for running over them. Tries a few handgun shots to lackluster effect. One person that is completely okay, though, with all of this fighting is Ursa Major, who, once again, is going flat out with that experimental nuclear engine. And it is humming along on all cylinders. Or turbines, I guess. And Jocko 91 decides to take out a few frustrations on Blue Gear and rams squarely into the side of the buggy, doing quite a bit of damage. Blue Gear pays Jocko 91 not too much mind, though, and takes off, slides the buggy sideways, and introduces the high-tech buggy Photon to the low-tech solution of a machine gun and handgun combo. And I don't think Photon was too impressed, as they wreck out, but don't explode. That's a shame. And trying to salvage a rough day, Cazador sits here and burns rubber, spending audience votes, and takes off and is back in the race. I told you, you cannot kill those stupid little bugs. And Ursa Major is still just chugging along at comfortable gear with nothing to worry about. That somehow, well, sometimes at least, how the cookie crumbles. And here the Havoc Rooster puts a boot, or bumper, to Blue Gear as well. I think the Warden drivers are not too happy with the Slime drivers, or the Miyazaki drivers. And just to add insult to injury, Kopesh slides and smacks right into not one but both gates. Ow, and the damage is painful. But it could have been a lot worse without Slippery. You still have to deal with that critical, though. With pole position about to switch back to them, Team Hard Candy's Jawbreaker does something a little unique and decides to forego going across that nice safe bridge and lines up the monster truck. Could we be seeing revenge? Ooh, yeah, it is pure revenge here by Jawbreaker, slamming into the side of the monster truck. Everyone else that has touched the monster truck has suffered greatly, so it's quite a change of pace to see someone go after it. And even with Slippery, Jawbreaker does some severe damage to the monster truck. And the monster truck, maybe they're too worried about the gate, but wow, Jawbreaker just slipped out of that one. But the impact with 2 gates and Jawbreaker hitting the side of the monster truck, which isn't equipped with a ram on the side, sends the monster truck spiraling out of control in a wipeout and is now facing the wrong way. Well, this may have made Jawbreaker happy, but it's really making Ursa Major happy too. And here the Havoc Rooster is not really impressed with Blue Gear's driving or elimination of Photon and decides to introduce him to some mines. And it is a rough outgoing with those mines. And Blue Gear goes and joins Photon and doesn't explode either. Oh well, maybe next time. And all of Miyazaki's hopes now reside on Cazador, who is holding together with duct tape and prayer, angles to the gate, and is now hoping that they can get there without taking a ram shot from Jawbreaker, or actual shots. And just when you think they have the race well in hand, Ursa Major slides out of control and smacks into a sign right by the start-finish line, tearing big chunks of hull out of it. That is 5 hull damage in 1 shot. That's an old fast food restaurant sign. That's no sign of the actual restaurant, so that must be one tough sign to do that much damage. And while they were able to stay off of the front bumper of Jawbreaker, the handguns do a number on the poor bike. And that is all it takes to finish off Cazador, who promptly explodes. Dings up Jawbreaker a little bit, but I think the driver is smiling from ear to ear at this point. And Grinder tries to harass the Havoc Rooster after Havoc Rooster took out Blue Gear. But Havoc Rooster shows that yes, you can dodge bullets in a performance car. And Jocko 91, after having a torrid day with the 2 buggies, decides to show Grinder a little bit of what Blue Gear showed Photon, turning in and lining up and delivering a heavy machine gun fire and a handgun right to the side. And it's enough to wreck Grinder and send him sprawling right to the back end of the Havoc Rooster. But he doesn't explode either. Did we water down the track or something? Did we actually use water? Darn. It's a last gasp effort from Kopesh, but they still end up sliding with no spin, so no audience votes, and that is as good as it's going to get for them. With victory well in hand, Ursa Major crosses the finish line and is the winner of this first ever race. So, congratulations to their inaugural win. It's kind of a shame they didn't get to fire that arc lightning projector, though. I would have loved to have seen that. In a bit of a controversial decision, Kopesh has been awarded second place, while only have 1 hole left, as the judges say that she technically crossed both gates while she wiped out. Slime is not very happy with this decision, of course, but it's what the judges say, and the judges say is final. So, officially, Kopesh is second. And third is Jawbreaker. Berserker really kept this car in the race, and they really hounded Miyazaki. I think a few different results, they could have been right there with Ursa Major. But as it is, they'll have to settle for third place, and who knows what happens in the next races. So, with that, this race is over. What will the next one have? I have no idea. I guarantee you it'll be a lot more interesting, as we'll be changing up the track layout just a little bit. Well, I hope you enjoyed. This was the first race I've ever done, so it's probably a bit chaotic. But I think everybody likes chaos, otherwise they'd be watching this. So, have fun out there. Bye-bye.